The blood on my hands was hers. That day, I helped hold her down. Aisha was only 12 when it happened, the same age I had been when the blade found me. The ceremony was as much a part of our village as the sunrise. It was tradition, they said. It was the only way a girl could become a woman, a way to honor her family and make her suitable for marriage. That morning, the whole village gathered outside our compound. The women sang and ululated, the rhythm so loud it drowned the fear on Aisha's face. She was my cousin, my closest friend, and she had begged me the night before to make it stop. "I can't," I whispered to her. "You know that." The elder woman had prepared the tools, razor-sharp and sterile, they claimed, though we all knew the truth. I was one of the girls chosen to assist, an honor, they said. But there was no honor in the way Aisha screamed, no pride in how she writhed against the hands holding her down. Her mother wept tears of joy as the ceremony ended. I wept quietly in the corner, hiding my shame behind a shawl. Aisha wouldn't look at me after that. The infection came quickly. She survived, but she was never the same. She barely spoke, and when she did, her voice had lost its spark. 2 years later, I left the village to work as a housekeeper in Djibouti City. It was there I met Miriam. She was unlike anyone I'd ever known, bold, relentless, unafraid to challenge things we were taught never to question. She spoke openly about FGM, calling it what it was, a crime against girls, a practice rooted in control, not culture. I didn't believe her at first. How could I? This was the way things had always been. But Miriam didn't stop at words. She introduced me to women who had suffered worse than Aisha, women who had lost their lives, their children, their marriages because of what had been done to them. "You think this makes you stronger?" she asked me one day. "It doesn't. It steals from you. And the men, they're just as trapped as you are, living by rules they didn't write." Her words stayed with me. When I returned to Harjil a year later, the village was exactly as I had left it. The same songs, the same ceremonies. Aisha had married by then, though her face told a story of quiet resignation rather than joy. I started talking to the women first. Quietly, in whispers. I told them about the things I'd learned in the city, about girls who didn't have to be cut to be respected, about women who had found the courage to say no. Some listened, others laughed. The men were harder. Most refused to hear me, but one, Aisha's younger brother, pulled me aside one evening. "Do you think we don't know?" he said. "We just don't know how to stop it." His words gave me hope. Change came slowly, like water wearing down stone. At first, it was just a few mothers who refused to take their daughters to the elders. Then a group of young men declared they would marry uncut women. The elders fought back, of course. "This is who we are," they said. "You're killing our culture." But they were wrong. Culture wasn't dying, it was evolving. The turning point came when Aisha gave birth to her first daughter. I saw the fire return to her eyes when she stood before the elders and said, "My child will not bleed." It was the first time I saw her defy them, and it gave others the courage to do the same. Today, the ceremonies in Harjil are different. There are no blades, no blood. Instead, we celebrate girls with feasts and blessings, marking their passage into womanhood with joy, not pain. I think of Aisha often. We're not as close as we once were, but when I see her daughter running through the fields, laughing and free, I know we've done right by her. I still carry the weight of that day, the screams I didn't stop. But I also carry hope that one day, no girl will have to beg her cousin to save her. Because no tradition is worth a child's tears.